Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Ask Enki. Today we're looking at an amazing piece of software known as Dspmotion from the guys at Sugi. These guys have created one of the most amazing sound creation app I have ever seen. I've never actually come across this. This is the first time I'm seeing it and it's just mind-blowing. The whole idea of this app is all you need to do to create sound is just swipe. As simple as that. If you want to make things like fire sound, just swipe. And you make that. You want to make things like metal sound, just swipe. All you want to make water sound, just swipe. All you need to do to make sound is swiping. How ridiculous is that? Now, this is not you creating sound based off some pack somewhere or something that has been pre-designed. It is you literally making sound in some sort of procedural, or should I say modular fashion, and controlling that however you choose. Now, if you want to get started with this, you need a pen or a mouse. That seems to be like the best way for you to operate with this stuff, as you can simply create a lot of things by just simply swiping or scribbling across your screen. So for anyone who is into sound design, sound production, game design, you're someone creating follies, or probably you're into this space of animation where you have to edit tons and tons of actions and you just want to create some extra sound effects, then you may want to take a look at this. Now let's get started by talking about a couple of things that you need to know before you get your hands or your feet wet with this. First things you need to know, it has a couple of modules. Now these modules are ways that you can create and interact with the sound. So for example, if we go back to air, for example, and let's say we want to show that air is moving, you can simply use this to show movement of air. You want to show that the air is rotating, as simple as that. You can make that kind of sound. You want to scale the air, push it forward, you can also use this. Go from the dark part all the way to the brightest part of the spectrum and you can get that. Make them appear, disappear. You can go through and play with any of these ones. You can also play with some transforming, and then if you love working with fires, of course you can do that. This one actually blew me off when I tried it. So what you get is once you're scribbling from this point and you move your pen or your mouse, it sets off and then you can relax that. And once you're done creating this sound, press the playback button and you can preview the sound however you choose. And you can also choose to say maybe you don't like what you have, you want to generate something else. There is a random play that you can get. So if you click on random play, it's going to rethink the whole thing and then create something totally different for you. So if you click on random, at every given time you hit the random, it randomizes the sound and gives you something new. So let's try that one more time. Then you can get that pretty cool sound happening. And this happens based off the modulations that you've created and also by tweaking certain parts of your controls. And because we're now talking about controls, let's dive over and take a look at some of the controls right here. But before we do that, let's talk about this one. This is the point where you change or play with the duration. So you can choose to increase the duration of recording, which is you scribbling across here, or you can also play with some presets curve that they've created for you. So let's say you want something like so, let's just get something like this and drop that there. You can see what we have. If you would like to rotate this or transform it however you choose, all you need to do is just simply click and then you can get that rotation. Let's also click this way. You can get that rotation happening there, and you can also get a different sound at every single time you do this rotation. So you can also do something like so, get a different sound and do this, and just simply switch across all of this to get something else. So whatever you want to create, you can actually create these things right here. Moving over to this section is where you can control stuff. And I think for us to actually see more of what you can do, let's try something with the water. So I'm thinking we should do this. Let's say we'll play with a bubble, for example. So we've just created this water sound. If you go over to this bubble section and let's press the playback, you can hear the sound one more time. But then there are certain things you would notice. We have the bloop, we have droplets, liquid, and delay rate. If you want to get a consistent playback and you don't want to hit the playback button all the time, all you need to do is click on auto, and this is automatically going to play back every time you make a change. So if we don't want a lot of droplets, we can turn that down, and this is going to play back and you can feel and also hear what's going on. And then if you don't want a lot of bloops, you can also turn that down and you can also feel and hear what is going on. If you're not okay with this, you want to try some rotation, okay, maybe you can do that. So we can have some stuff going in like that, and you can hear that water flushing down. If you go back to the water, for example, you don't want the whole swirl sound, you can turn that down, and you'll notice we have more of the reel. If you don't want that, we can also turn this down, and you have all of these controls for things that you want to make. This goes across the board for every single sound. If you're looking for musicals, you have things that you can work with, beautiful sounds, and you have all of the modules here as well. Now, this app is pretty brilliant. After all of this, there is no extra setting you have. The only settings you have here is, basic settings for where you want your project to be saved. If you have an external editor, like let's say Isotope or Audition, some stuff like so, you can connect them right over here. If you also have several parameters you want to change the way the visualizers look, you can change that there. Click on OK, press the playback. We have some of those cute little things. So you can change however you want your visualization to be. So these are all of the settings that you basically have. Next thing which you might want to take a look at is exporting your stuff. So if you want to export this, you can choose to export them in several ways. So if you're creating several sounds, let's say you're making several randomizations, you want to preview these randomizations, you can select the number of sounds you want to preview or the number of sounds you want to get exported out, and you can get that happening. So for example, if we go over to places like electricity, for example, and do stuff like this, or let's select the move and do something like this, pretty nice. If you make some randomizations, you make the first random, and then let's stop that, make a second randomization, you can choose to export all of these 3 randomizations or all of these 3 sounds out. So if you go right here, you can select how many you want to export. So we can go like 2, 3, and once you hit render, you can now select the part where you want to export this to, enter the name you want to export, and click on save, and automatically this is going to export all your files out. If you've already created something and you don't want to break it, you don't want to break any of the things that you've made, you can simply click on save and save that stuff. This app is awesome. I only have a couple of things I would like to have as updates for the next coming version. And what I'm looking at is layers. There is practically no layering system. So what happens is once you create anything, for example, once you create anything like so, once you go back and play across your viewport one more time or your canvas, the previous one disappears. There is actually something called keep. So once you do something like this and click on keep, it kind of establishes it directly on your canvas. But once you go back and swivel across one more time, you just don't get to see it. To me, I think this is definitely going to be something pretty important for most people, as you may want to have a layer stack of things that you can play with and also tweak from. I love the whole idea that you have a wide range of things that you can tweak, and I also love the idea that there is just a lot of options for you to go through and play with. So this is definitely about it. If you want to get this, link is going to be in the description, and you can check out some of their documentations and some stuff that would get you up to speed with using this tool. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section. The Dspmotion is here. Just simply draw and create sound effects, and there's nothing more crazy than having all of this flexibility within your fingertips. So this is definitely going to be about it. I would like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section. And of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give it a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And if you're new here, it's going to be amazing for you to hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or the next update. And until I see you guys again with a tutorial update, Free Friday, Tutorial Tuesday, tips and tricks, things like this. Peace.